Run. I get that cash and I flip it, yeah. I get that cash and I flip it.
So today's video is gonna be a little bit more on the serious side, not like super uptight serious, but it's just gonna be a little bit more on the serious side just because I do want to talk about my experience with the fact that I do not feel as though doctors listen to black women. I don't. And I saw a while ago, like maybe like back in the summer, this was trending for a little bit and I was like, oh my God, people are like really speaking out about it. And it kind of made me want to share my experience as well because I feel like doctors don't listen to black women. So I just really want to talk about that and share my experience with you guys. And maybe some of you guys have experiences that are similar to mine and maybe you've been through the same thing, like who knows. But I'm telling this because we are starting the new year. It is now 2019 and this marks the 2-year anniversary of me losing my ovary because motherfuckers didn't want to listen. So yes, this is the 2-year anniversary because today is the 4th. I think from what I remember, I went into surgery either on the 3rd or the 4th. Or no, I think I went into surgery on the 3rd of 2017. So the 3rd day of the new year. So that's how I started off my new year of 2017 was having my ovary removed because yeah, well, I'll get to all that. So before I even start this video, please subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed. It would help me a whole lot. Please take the time to hit that subscribe button. Also, please turn on my post notifications so you know when I post because I want you all to be able to watch my content. You know, I don't want to post content and then nobody gets to see or nobody's watching. So please turn on my post notifications so that you do know when I post. And at the end of this video, if you do enjoy it and if you can relate, please give this video a thumbs up. It would help me tons. And I'm about to share the story of how I lost my ovary. So this whole ordeal for me started in 2012. Okay, you guys, so in 2012, 5 years, you guys. In 2012, I started getting this like ache in my lower back on my right side. And it was like at the most random times I would get it and it was uncomfortable and I didn't like it. And every time I would go to the doctor, I would always tell them about this ache that I was having in my back. Every single time, you guys. Like, every time I would go into the doctor, I'd be like, hey, like, I have this ache in my back. Like, my back is feeling funny in this one spot. And it was this one little spot. And I would tell them this every single time. I was like, hey, my back is feeling funny. Can y'all take a look at it? Can you do something about it? Every time I would tell them this shit, let me try not to cuss so much. Every time I would tell them this, they would just be like, oh, well, maybe you're sleeping wrong. Maybe you need a stretch, like something like that, like whatever. And it would always irritate me because I was actively being like, I know it's not from me sleeping wrong. I get this pain at random times during the day and for no apparent reason. And it's like, it would come in like spasms. Like I would get the pain and it would be like, and I can't even, okay, so it wasn't really a pain at that point. It was just like this ache. It was very uncomfortable though. So I would get the ache and it would be like at some random time during the day. It would last maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. Then it would go away. Then at another point in that same day, I would get it or I wouldn't get it again till the next day. But I was getting them throughout the years. I started getting them maybe like 2 to 3 times a day. I was getting this ache in my lower back on my right side. So I was getting this pain and again, or this ache, and again, every single time I would tell them, hey, there is something going on, they weren't, like, they were just paying me. Like, they were not paying me no mind. Like, they were just like, okay, well, you're just, like, they would just treat me like, oh, you're just being dramatic, you're just complaining, like, you're just being dramatic. So, fast forward, okay, and not only, so, just a little side note, not only was I complaining about the ache in my back, I've had times where I've gone to the doctor and I've mentioned something about my depression and they're just like, oh, okay, well maybe you just need to do this, you just need to do that. or, oh, well, you're not really like, they never give me the time of day, like when I'm telling them about stuff. So I mentioned stuff about that. They don't pay me any mind. Don't give me the time of day. I've mentioned stuff, or I have one doctor say, oh, well, you're just experiencing, what did she say? Just extreme sadness. I'm looking like, girl, I am depressed, like, and I'm not even like trying to be like one of those people that's like, oh, let me self-diagnose myself. No, I wasn't eating. I was laying in bed all day long. I had no interest in doing anything, no motivation to do anything. Like, I was literally like, I was never suicidal or anything like that, but I was just like very, very depressed, just like hopeless, just like there is, you know, like I never wanted to die, but I like didn't want to wake up, like, if that makes sense. Like, I just wanted to sleep all the time. I just wanted to be in a constant state of being asleep, because then I couldn't feel what it was I was feeling, which was just numbness, and I didn't want to feel that, and I would just sleep all the time. And when I would tell doctors that, they would just be like, okay, I think you're just really sad. I'm like, girl, if I was white, you would not be saying that, but okay. And then the other thing that I would always complain about when I went to the doctor, which I still to this day always tell them when I go to the doctor, I'm like, hey, I think I have ADD. I've taken multiple tests for it. I've literally, like, anything you can think of for the signs that you have ADD, like, I have majority of them. I'm not gonna say I have all of them. I have majority of them. Not ADHD. I think I have ADD. I have a lot of trouble focusing on things. I have a lot of trouble completing tasks because I cannot focus on one thing for a very long time, and it just, the list goes on. But every time I tell them that as well, they just pay me no mind. They kind of are just like, I think you just need to find better ways to, what is it they like to say? You just need to find better ways to try and focus, or you just, well, I don't think it's that. I think maybe you just, it's just always some like watered down BS, like I'm just being dramatic. And I'm just like, okay. Every single time, they don't ever take it seriously. So I'm just like, okay, I'm done going back and forth with y'all, and y'all just don't be, they just don't be caring. Like, they literally don't be caring at the fuck all. So back to the ache in my back. So it kept on going like that for years. I would always bring it up. They would pay me no mind. They would just be like, oh, well, you just this, you just that, da da da. Just basically saying like, it's nothing. So, it got to the point where, so 2017, around Thanksgiving 2017, the ache was turning into pain. The ache was definitely turning into pain, but it had only been pain like at first I thought, like, the type of pain that it was, I thought I had a UTI. I thought I had a UTI because sometimes when you get a UTI, you can get like your you know, when you get a bladder infection, it hurts like sometimes. So I thought that I had a UTI because I've had one of those, and it, like, you know, I was hurt, my back was hurting from it. So that's what I thought that I had. I was like, okay, well, I just have a bladder infection, whatever. So I went to the doctor. I said, I think I have a bladder infection. I'm having this pain in my back. And they were just like, okay, well, they treated me. They gave me the antibiotics for bladder infection. Cool. So the pain goes away for a little bit. So come Christmas time, I am experiencing pain to the point where I'm buckling over. Like, I'm literally like, I'm walking like this. Like, I'm walking hunched over because I have this pain in my back, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And what I was scared of was that I thought that I had pelvic inflammatory disease. I thought that I had that again. Because I'm not gonna act like I'm this perfect person. I've never been burnt before. I've been burnt before. Back when I was my freshman year of college, I was messing around with this guy. I was exclusively messing with him, so I wasn't even hoeing, and he was messing with other people, and so I ended up getting chlamydia, which can turn into pelvic inflammatory disease, which is all treatable, but literally pelvic inflammatory disease, I crawled into the ER when that happened. I crawled. I could not stand up. It hurt so bad. Like, I can't even explain how bad it hurt. It hurt so bad. It felt like somebody was stabbing me in my back and in my abdomen at the same time. Like, I cannot explain to y'all how bad it hurt, okay? So I was freaking out because I was like, I do not want to experience this again. I'm like scared. I don't want it to turn into this. Oh my God, I gotta get into the doctor. Like, I was terrified because I had never felt anything like that in my entire life. Like, I just remember everything that I said when I was in the ER on that day was just, please make the pain stop. I was just begging them for drugs, like literally begging. I literally was like, please give me drugs. Like, I am in pain. And so this time around, so it's Christmas, I'm starting to experience this pain again. It's not as bad as the pelvic inflammatory, but I remember from getting it that's how it started. It was kind of subtle, and then it kind of progressed. So I was like, oh my God, I'm getting this again. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then I'm also thinking like, but how could I be getting this again? I was scared that I had it again, but I was like, I don't know how I would, because, and I also knew that I hadn't been exposed to any type of like chlamydia or anything like that, any type of STD. I wasn't out here being reckless, and I was in an exclusive relationship with somebody, and I knew that that person wasn't out here being reckless. So I knew 100% it wasn't that, but I was so traumatized from having that I was like, oh my God, what if I like got a UTI or something and somehow it turned into pelvic inflammatory, knowing damn well that can't happen. But I was just like freaking out. So my mom was like, you need to go to the doctor. And I was like, I just went to the doctor. And when I went to the doctor, because I went back around Christmas time, again, they gave me medicine for a bladder infection again. It was not working. So I was like, oh my God, they gave me this medicine, it's not working. What is it? So Christmas, I just really spent Christmas just laying around. Like, I was laying around because it hurt to move. It hurt to walk. It hurt to move. It hurt to lay down unless I laid like a specific way. It hurt to lay down. So I was just trying to be as immobile as possible because I was in so much pain. So the pain kind of goes, I just keep taking the medicine. The pain kind of goes away, but it's still coming. It's coming heavier and heavier. So come New Year's, I somehow made it to New Year's, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna fight my way through this pain. I went out for New Year's Eve, don't know how, because I was like, at this point, the pain was coming on stronger and worse and worse. Went out New Year's Eve, everything was cool. New Year's Day, the pain came back and it was tenfold. Like, it was literally excruciating. It was excruciating, and it was to the point where, and I think, so it was New Year's Day, and everything, like all the doctor's offices, urgent care, everything was closed because it was New Year's Day. So the pain was excruciating. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to make it somehow. And when I say excruciating, y'all, I was in so much pain. I was like, girl, you're gonna have to make it one more day. Just sleep through it tonight. Make it through the day, sleep through it tonight. And tomorrow, my boyfriend at the time was like, tomorrow I will take you into, I'll take you into urgent care. Cool. So I make it through the night, like I sleep through the night. And in the morning, he's getting ready to take me to urgent care. And I buckle over on the ground. I am hollering. I am in so much pain. And I'm just crying. He's just like trying to help me get dressed. And I can't get up because I'm in so much pain. And I'm just like boo-hoo crying because I'm in so much pain. And he finally, he helps me get dressed because I'm like, I can't move a lot because I literally am in so much pain. So he gets me dressed and we go to urgent care. I'm waiting in the urgent care room, and I just kept on feeling like, I was like, oh my God, I'm squirming because I'm just like, oh my God, I can't sit up in the chair right to sit in the urgent care. I already had to I was damn near crawling into urgent care. So by then I was like, yo, I can't walk. So I had to get in one of the wheelchairs that they have on the side. So I'm in the wheelchair, and I'm sitting in the wheelchair kind of to the side because I'm still, again, I'm in so much pain. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm to the side just crying. And they're almost ready to call me back. And before they call me back, mind you, I'm in the lobby of urgent care. I start literally, and normally when I'm about to throw up, I can just breathe, and I can be and just take deep breaths, and I can hold it off. Before they call me back, I start throwing up. And I get to the back, and they're as soon as they seen that I had started to throw up on top of everything else, they were like, yo, she needs to go to the ER, because at this point they said that I was throwing up because my body was in so much pain that like that was causing me to throw up. Which, shit, I believe it, because god dang, like I was like, y'all, I cannot describe to you what that felt like. So I'm throwing up, and they tell my boyfriend at the time, they're like, you need to take her to the ER, because at this point that's where this is escalated to. So, you know, he puts me back in the car, we go to the ER. We get to the ER, and I'm literally like, I'm just like throwing up so much, like I'm in so much pain. They put me on, they give me like, I think they gave me morphine, but yeah, they gave me morphine, and literally, I thought morphine was supposed to be strong as hell, because literally the morphine wasn't doing nothing for me, because I was like in so much pain. The morphine was not cutting it. I was just like, oh my god, I'm finna die. I literally was like, it's over. I'm praying, I'm like, man, if this is the end, like, please speed this bitch up. Please. Like, I was like, God, if this is the end, if this is how I'm meant to go, please stop prolonging it. Like, I'm in so much pain. Like, I was just like, yo, if this is how I'm meant to go, please just let this end. Like, it was, oh my god, I can't describe to you, y'all, what I was feeling. So I'm like, you know, they got the morphine in me, and the morphine is just not doing anything. Mind you, I'm literally buckled over in pain. I'm throwing up. I can't even, like, I think at that time I was so sensitive to sound or light or anything, because I was just so sick and miserable that like I just like was in and out of, I was literally in and out of consciousness. One second I would be conscious, the next second I would just be like out of it, and I would be out of it because my body was just like, I don't know what was going on. I was just out of it, and I'm out of it, and they're shoving papers in my face, trying to get me to sign papers while I'm throwing up and passing out. Really? Like, there wasn't a better time y'all couldn't, really? Like, bruh. They're shoving papers in my face, trying to get me to sign those or whatever. So at the first hospital, they keep me there. Maybe I'm there for like an hour and a half or whatever. And they're like, I want to say at the first hospital, they ran an x-ray on me, or maybe it was the second one. But I can't remember why they had to transfer me from the first one. But basically they were like, she's gonna need surgery, and we can't do it here. So they load me up in the ambulance, and they take me to another hospital. So I'm in the ambulance, I'm still like, one second I'm up, the next second I'm passing out. One second I'm up, the next second I'm passing out. So I get to the hospital where I'm supposed to have surgery at, and they take me out. Y'all, literally, I just need to sue the whole healthcare system, but I really have no, like, I have no proof of this stuff. Like, this, I mean, of course, you know, they could pull up the footage from then, maybe if they even have it from that far back, but as for everything else, like, I have no proof of everything else. Like, I don't feel like I do. So I really do need to sue Carolina's healthcare, like the whole thing, but I don't think I have enough to sue them. So they got lucky, because boy, what a lawsuit. I literally would be damn near rich, okay? Like, so they take me, they wheel me into the ER, and I'm supposed to be getting wheeled to the room where I'm supposed to be getting prepped to go into surgery. These motherfuckers wheel me into the lobby. The people from the ambulance wheel me into the lobby and leave me there in the wheelchair in the lobby. What the hell? I'm passing out and everything. I'm supposed to be going into surgery, and y'all wheel me into the lobby, and they leave me in the lobby. So I'm literally in the lobby, and at this time, my boyfriend had followed behind the ambulance. So he's at another part of the hospital. You know, he's where he's supposed to be, waiting on them to bring me there. And I'm on a whole nother part of the hospital because these motherfuckers done wheeled me in there and just left me. Like, what? Who does that? Why? Didn't check me in, no nothing. So I'm sitting in there maybe 10-15 minutes. And again, I'm in and out of consciousness. I'm miserable. I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, Cherry, like, you have to gather up enough strength to wheel this wheelchair to the front so you can ask them where you need to be at, because I don't think you're supposed to be right here. So I get up the energy, I wheel this wheelchair to the front, to the little desk or whatever. I'm like, hey, my name is so-and-so, and I'm supposed to be going into surgery, and I don't think they put me in the right spot. And the lady is like, oh no, you're not in the right spot at all. Like, and then she calls or whatever, and 2 nurses come down, they get me in the wheelchair, and they wheel me to where I'm supposed to be. So I get prepped, and they put me through like the x-ray one more time, and they're like, you know, you have a cyst. And they're like, not only do you have a cyst, like I had a cyst on my ovary. The cyst was the size of a fucking pomegranate. Like, it was like this big. You know how big your ovary is, you guys? Your ovary is like maybe like this. And the cyst was like this. Like, it has swallowed there was no ovary left, nothing. It has swallowed my whole ovary. All these years I've been complaining, and y'all done let a cyst engulf my whole ovary because you didn't want to listen to shit I had to say. Oh my God, I literally hate America's healthcare system sometimes, I swear I do. So they tell me that, and they're like, you know, it's actually a miracle that you got in here when you did get in here, because if this would have exploded, basically if it would have exploded, they were like, girl, bye. You would have been out, KO, it's time to go. Like, so they tell me that or whatever, and then they give me the anesthesia. As soon as they give me the anesthesia, I'm out like a light, literally. And I wake up, the cyst is gone. I've now gone from having 2 ovaries to I have 1 ovary. I still have like the scar from where that happened. It doesn't look nearly as bad, but it is something that I am a little self-conscious of it, just because it's a freaking, it looks like I had a C-section. I didn't have a C-section. I don't have any kids, but it looks like I had a C-section because they cut me across. Now, granted, I am grateful though, because I'd rather them cut me this way than if they would have cut up to my belly button. I'm glad they didn't do that. But so I have this like little scar. It looks like a C-section scar. It's not pretty. And yeah, and now I only have 1 ovary, which means a lot of people always have questions. They're like, oh, so can you still have kids? Like, how does that work? I'm like, you still have a regular period. You can still have kids. It's just that I only have 1 ovary. So I basically got to take really, really good care of this one, because if this one goes, then no, I can't have kids, period. So that is my story when it comes to doctors, and doctors don't believe Black women because for some reason they just feel like, I don't know if they feel like we're just so strong that when we do say, oh, I have this pain, they're just like, oh, okay, she fine. Like, I don't know why they don't take us serious, but I do not. I definitely agree that doctors do not take Black women seriously. That is why we have a higher risk of dying during childbirth, because when we say, oh, I don't feel good, or oh, something is wrong, everybody just be kind of like, oh, well, suck it up, you'll be fine. And yeah, clearly I'm not the only one, because I did read these stories on Twitter where a lot of people have had similar experiences. So yeah, so in honor of the new year, and it's my two-year anniversary of getting my ovary removed, I just want to tell that story. You guys, please make sure that you pay attention to your body, and if you know something, you'll know when something is wrong 9 times out of 10. If you know something is wrong and they are telling you that nothing is wrong with you, but you know something is wrong, keep pressing, bro. Like, keep pressing, because yeah, I was pressing hard as hell and it didn't work for me, but it might work for you. So just keep pressing, pay attention to your body. And yeah, that is my story. If you like this story, please leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel, and turn on your notifications, and add me on my social media, you guys. I link my Instagram and my Twitter below. Add me on those. I'm really super active on them, and I will see you guys in my next story time.